It's beautiful to see all the stakeholders come together for such an amazing project. You can only get something great when everybody puts their hand in to deliver on a project. Now, our next up is our guest. He's an influencer across social media platforms and gains multiple platforms. He's a triple international movie award winning star and started a business recently where we're being hosted. Can I reveal the name? It's Neil's Kitchen. Let's have a quick chat with ALENNE on his journey throughout the industry. When you're face to face with a colleague, first thing that comes to mind is, how do I interview somebody who does this for a living? How do I do TV or radio with somebody who does this for a living? But it's going to be a conversation more of ALENNE. In fact, why Nina?
Before I say Ni, this is one of those rare situations which is more of pleasure. I'm talking to the hugest diva in Cameroon when it gets to the microphone. Let me spill.
I feel so pink.
Not any kind of person, international gift of God. And I'm so happy to be here. You know, I waited this for long, and at a certain point I thought that, well, she wanted to remain with other people. Today,
he is savage. How can you just do me this on TV?
No idea. But then they say my belly is not a store.
At all. You've been around radio. I heard somebody talk about you when you were on radio, like you were the best voice ever. Why did you leave radio?
Well, it got to a certain point that I decided that I would not do anything that I'm not the owner. Because radio, TV is the highest way of being used in Cameroon. You're the face, but you get down on some stipends in the name of salary, and you're the risk bearer, and people get down to want to humiliate you. Then there's a lot of negative competition, and it got to a point where I vowed that, okay, if I need to do a radio station, they said I used to be the best. I'm still the best because I work every day, but for more than 10 years, I'm not on radio. Yeah, more than 10 years. So it got to a point that I vowed that, okay, if I need to do radio and I want to do radio, I'd rather get a program that I own or I get a TV or radio station that's mine.
Which means that let me go back to a picture. When you say owned, it reminds me of there was a time you posted pictures of a set, and I was quite intrigued. I was trying to figure out if you're going to do like a TV program or if you're going to do like a series of productions on air. What exactly are you getting into? Is it different from the documentaries you did before?
No, we have a BT Media project, which we have 6 TV stations now. We got to that point where, alongside some other great people, we brought in that beautiful idea to create 6 TV stations on different ideas, different editorial policies, one on Cameroon movie in English, one on French. And at a certain point, you think that you're going to get in something, and you finally realize that you should get further.
Yeah.
That each time I'll just go to the radio, own a radio. By the time you're getting there, you think you should go further. Why don't you make it as big as African Magic? Why don't you content everybody? So we are at that level. So the project is going, but despite the project, I realized that it's taking a lot of my time, like basically trying to make a project work and killing what you're asking. What about that best voice? So at this moment, I'm working on programs for the best voice. Okay, despite the fact that we have TV stations, I want to own my own programs there to push out that talent, because that's where the originality lies. Yeah.
An international MT as well. So MCing should be something you're passionate about. Is it something you do based on request, or it's something you really go out for?
Now that I know a lot of people watch out this your program, I want to be frank and tell them the truth, because you see, we started MCing with a situation in Cameroon for a long time, which was a very ugly one, and even affected my relationship with my mother, because when every day I told him I wanted to be an MC, she knew that, okay, she was in doom. So I would like to sponsor a child to be this. Because the only thing that thought about us was the end. Like, I guess my friend ALENNE, you can't talk. After all, so we're practically paid as MCs with food. Then they say if you have taxi money, will be 5,000.
Yeah.
Then you'll be insulted. Then at a certain point, they will misuse you.
Very little
the
respect for
mother-in-law
what you
will
do.
tell you to do this. The father-in-law in the wedding will warn you. The bride will call you like this. The groom will tell. I think that without a lot of people trying to make that thing change, when I decided that if it's not $1 million francs, I'm not going anywhere.
Talking about movies. Movies is something I'm sure you're quite passionate about, because there was a time you would promote every single movie any Cameroonian is implicated in. What's your vision for the movie industry?
The movie industry, technically, is one of the best in Africa now. That's why we're winning everywhere. But financially, or let me talk socially, depending on our culture,
Yeah.
our people are not used to stars. So we have a huge problem in our environment, which is not us. We, the movie makers, are good. Now, there was a time, I put it in pidgin, where we were suffering from fufu and chekere. All everybody was just there.
Suffering
But we
from
kept
fufu and
Yes,
chekere.
they had to take chekere and put fufu there.
What's chikiri?
Chekere is that thing that you shift that fufu, and the
Ah,
fufu comes
yes.
up, then chekere stays on top. So from the beginning, there was all of that. Corn fufu was there. The film industry, anybody who dropped out from school in Manfield, anywhere came from Batibo, they dropped, they came out. We were moving. So we said, at a certain moment, fufu will go under. So fufu, we don't go under, and fufu now you realize there are some who are huge stars. Then they want chekere. That's those people you see on Facebook, still talking movie on Facebook. The real people in movie in this country are the best. The technical department is marvelous. The lighting is far more than Nigerian.
Yeah.
That's why you see, I always tell people, why do you think I win 3 international awards on a movie? It's because every single thing there is good. If you take Cameroonians to huge awards where you expect people to vote, we will lose it because Cameroonians don't believe in their actors. They don't believe in our jobs. They really watch them. But if you take it to a neutral jury, which is professional, all Cameroonian movies will always win.
Coming through this, I'm sure you've been through some challenges. It sounds all beautiful when you talk about your story, you talk about your passion, things you love, but I'm sure you've been through some times where you did question yourself.
Yeah, the most difficult times were before the breakthrough, where you wouldn't even have confidence. Like, I can't make this, especially when family in particular wouldn't believe in you. Everybody wanted me to be a medical doctor. But I saw something else. My father saw it. My late father saw me this way. But my mother that I love most wanted me to be something else. So that's the most difficult thing. But once I went to be an MC in a show in Yaoundé, and my junior sister happened to be in that wedding. And later on, he called my mother and said, hey, it looks like that guy's got something. And that totally changed my life. Just the fact that family believed in me, it changed my life till today. You see, I've lived a lot all in confidence. One good thing about me is that I know myself. I don't allow people to evaluate me first.
Yeah.
I evaluate every little thing I do and correct myself. So each time I fail, I know. And each time I'm going up, I know.
Would you say you're a positive person?
Extremely positive. Extremely positive. My whole environment should be positive. Yeah.
How do you dwell in Cameroon, considering Cameroon is not such a positive space to be in? Everybody says that, let me put it that way. Everybody says Cameroon is not a positive space to dwell in. How do you survive?
I survive by doing things individually. You see, when we started the movie thing, or we were going through movie thing, and I realized there was a lot of animosity, I dodged to do documentaries alone. That's why I decided to go alone to do documentaries. So then I had peace. I actually raised the money I'm doing any other business in my life from documentary productions because I realized that group work was difficult. Till today, it's very difficult working with a crowd, but we've had a mature crowd in the movie industry that you could see with and work. That's by the way. Then secondly, there are Cameroonians everywhere in the world and they have this same reputation.
Yeah.
If they do not pull you down here, they'll pull you down in Maryland. And if they pull you down in Maryland, the scandal will still come out online overnight. So it's a general thing that's happening in our environment, and no matter where you live, I prefer to stay where I'm more comfortable and where I can run things.
And you know the funny thing, he's so good, he's recently opened Nice Kitchen. A man can only be confident enough to open a place like this when he knows people are going to come flooding in. So, garçon, est-ce qu'on pourrait avoir quelque chose à boire, s'il vous plaît?
She's saying that you should get us drinks, something to drink.
I can't leave without asking you, what is your vision?
Yes, straight question. My vision is this. I made a name. Making a name in Cameroon doesn't give you money. I want to use that name to make money. I want to use my name to make money. You know, movie doesn't give money.
No, it
I
doesn't
want to
just
use my
yet.
name to sell things. That's why you see my face on my brand. I want to do 4 of these restaurants in Douala in all 4 corners. I want to do Nice Kitchen in Yaoundé. I want to do one in Maryland, somewhere, one in London. Yeah, so I want the KFC idea with my face on it. And we
Oh,
explode.
yes.
Yeah.
Now I see.
Yeah. So I want you to get African fast food. So now, that's what happens. Now, movie will not give me the breakthrough. Movie will not give me the financial breakthrough I want. So let me use food. I learn how to cook.
Something you love.
Yes, so now, everybody loves me. I got a huge fan base. How can they get to me? Go and eat at my places.
Okay.
So that's it.
Cheers to a bright future. Thank you for having us.
I should thank you very much for, you don't know the way how I feel about you, dear.
Oh my
When it
gosh.
gets to microphone, you too much, oh.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
really
Thank
too
you.
much.
Thank you. We've come to the end of a beautiful episode. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the richness of the African and Cameroonian culture we delivered to you today. What I retained is be fearless and be bold. Now, talking about mistakes, talking about Zeho Makabo once again, we grow up with so many fears as young people when our parents and our teachers tell us to follow exactly what they say, but we do not challenge ourselves to discover what we have as inner potential. So, hey, what do you have to lose? You have just one life, so explore it. Make as many mistakes as you can. Pick yourself up and prove to the world that, I'm bigger than that. Now, until next time, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Miss B Show. I'm Miss B, and I'm Simply Deep. Ta-da!